Welcome everybody to Panfish Nation. Along with Mark, I'm Lyle, and Mark. We're going to hit a subject tonight that is very dear to me because I love catching bluegills.
I know you do, Lyle. I know you do.
We
I
got
like catching them, but I catch them for another reason. If I get on the real big ones, every now and then, if I'm bored, I'll go out there and chase them and stuff. But
well. I think I got some information tonight that might help people catch the big ones.
that's good. I'd like to have a fish fry. You know, we did have bluegill one last week in Mendota,
Really?
and they were delicious.
Oh, they absolutely are. They're one of my favorite panfish to eat. But a lot of the times where I fish, you can't get the 8, 9 inch ones, the 7 inch ones, and most of the ones we catch here are bait size for like flathead fish and stuff, which I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
But the um, the 8 and 9 inch ones, you can fillet them, and you have a pretty good fillet.
Well, when I cook them whole. I'll scale them, gut them, and cut the heads off. If the
A lot
wife's
of people
eating,
do that. Now,
yeah, then I
do you
cut.
eat the fins
Oh heck yeah! Oh
and
yeah!
the tail?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I make
that's
sure
some
to
of
get a
the
little
best
extra.
part of them.
I make sure to get a little extra. I put what I'll do is I'll bread them a little bit lightly, right? I crisscross them, cut into them, get some of that seasoning in on the meat, and then I'll deep fry them whole. But then when they come out, I'll sprinkle a little extra of that seasoning right on the tail and the fins, get it nice and crispy and salty and delicious.
I'm gonna make your mouth water.
I know I'm starting to. I had a freaking chef salad for dinner. That ain't no crappie
We
or
fixed
bluegill.
up some crappie the other day. I think I don't remember when it was now. It's a week ago, and I fixed it in Andy's red breading, and it was amazing. Actually, I usually don't eat fish leftovers, but the next day they was just as good.
I'm telling you, they're good out of the fridge, man. Crappie the next day, I'll have them for breakfast. I won't even bother warming them up. You know what I need to do is try and take some of the breaded ones the next day and heat them up in the air fryer and see if that makes a difference. So
Cindy is loving this air fryer. She's had it for a while now, and she uses it all the time with great success, I might add, because I don't ever get any really bad meals. Um, but the fish frying I done outside, it was over the weekend, I think, and it turned out really, really good. But I'm a fan of Andy's breading. It's really good. I've got some Cajun Andy's left, and I'll be using it up the next time we do some. But I got a couple more packages of that crappie. I'm probably going to do that unless I can get out on some big bluegill, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But before we do, Mark, what do you say we welcome everybody in the chat?
I think that's a great idea, Lyle. Let me get my list up here. We got 351 Cleveland in the house. Annette's catfishing. There's Stephanie. She's a channel member over at Cotton Picking Fishing.
Oh, thanks, Steph.
Also, another channel member, Crappie Day Fish On. There's our buddy Creel. What's up, Creel? There's Freddie's Outdoor Adventures. What's going on, Freddie? Freddie's going to be my guest next Monday, Lyle. We're going to have
Awesome.
him on my show.
You guys
There's
have fun.
Dee. D, she's a channel member. She's a supporter over at Get Hooked on D Fishing. There's JG Hill Studio, channel member Joe Buck 66. How you doing? There's our buddy JP3 Outdoors. What's going on, my friend? How you doing? Good to see you.
Been
Size
missing
matter.
it.
Oh, there's your pup. Size Matters Catfishing is in the house. Steve Ransom. There's my buddy KP over at Takedown Catfishing. Kelly over at the Bullock Experience. There's Air Run from Up in the Air Run Outdoors. There's Matt over at Want to Be Outdoors. We got an avid fisherman just showed up. Welcome, Avid. How you doing? Halana's a Catfish Adventures. What's up, niece Halana? How you doing? And I'm going through. I think we got everybody. How you doing, folks?
Awesome. Glad to have them all in chat tonight. Be a lot of fun with them. They'll have
Oh, there's Chucky just popped up in Carmel Muncie. How you guys doing?
awesome. Awesome. Mark, the spawn is a bonus. Bluegills are starting to spawn in the southern states now, like Texas, Alabama, places like that. I've been talking to some people, and they're just now going on the nest there. Now, that's not saying that here in Missouri and Illinois that you might find some that are getting ready to spawn or are already spawning, but for the most part, It'll be a couple weeks before the water temperature gets to the spot it needs to be in our area. With that being said, for the bigger fish, that's probably the best time of the year to do really well on
Hmm.
bigger bluegill.
Well,
And
those big males are the ones that are guarding the nest, right?
that's exactly right. And the females, they're not on there very long. Uh, and you still catch some of them, but they're the one that produces the eggs. I would rather have the big males.
Yeah, I caught a couple of bluegill. I went out bait fishing here, 2 days ago, and I caught a couple of females that were really, really swollen in the belly. I'm thinking they were getting ready to
Yeah,
do their thing. So it's coming, if not here already. So
that's right. Now, if you have a depth finder that has side scan on, doesn't matter what brand it is, they all show the same thing. You have little divots, circular holes, and there'll be one right after another. And it'll make a big old circle, and that is where them bluegill are spawning. And if you can get close to that and either spot lock or use an anchor and put you there, drop you a buoy marker out, basically in the center of that, and just fish all around it. And you will catch a lot of them big males. And you're going to keep them anyhow, so you can't worry about whether it affects the nesting of them. But there'll be thousands and thousands of them, and
and here's a hint or a tip for people who don't have side imaging: get yourself some polarized sunglasses, because they're usually in the shallows, and it's usually shallow enough you'd be able to see them, and especially on a brighter day with those polarized glasses, because I can see them. I've been seeing those golf balls looking divots. They look like the
they
divots on a
do look
golf
like
ball.
divots.
They do, and you can see them pretty much from the bank if you're looking close enough.
Yeah,
So keep an eye out and get you some polarized glasses. It's a great investment for fishing. It
and
really
they're
is.
not that expensive. You can get a pair at Walmart or some one of the big name fisherman stuff for $8-10. They're not,
Hmm.
but it makes a world of difference if you're bank fishing and you're walking around a pond. It'll look like a grid of something out there, and them's just little holes where all them males are in there, and they fan that out, and you get you a little bluegill jig of some kind, or you can use crickets, one of the all-time bluegill favorites, or little pieces of wax worms, red worms. I like night crawlers because they're bigger. You just need a little chunk of it on the end of a hook and a slip cork, and you can just wear them out. But
Oh,
jigs, 1/16th, 1/32nd, 1/64, small jigs with small hooks, because bluegill actually have a very small mouth, and you can just sit there and catch them and catch them and catch them. If you
and
don't want to clean them or you don't like to eat them, that's okay. They're still about as much fun to catch as anything going.
especially if you're geared up for them right, and you're not using too heavy a gear. I know when we were in Mendota, a couple guys were complaining about a walleye not fighting hard, or a pike not. Well, they're using 80-pound test.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? It doesn't matter on a heavy rod or a medium heavy rod. So
That's
that's
right. I see.
also, I wanted to add to that. I know up here in the north, them big bluegill, man, them guys catch them on leeches. They drop shot leeches to them, or they'll actually free line them. Just let it sink slowly. Watch their line, and they'll get on the big ones with those. So
That's right. I'd like to welcome Justin's Fish and Fetish in to chat, and Super Dave. I don't know if there's anybody else that I've missed, um, but Super Dave
there's
is.
Sonny Catnabber Parker. We missed
Sonny,
him.
yeah, heck yeah. Glad to see Sonny in here. He's got his hand all messed up. Hope he's feeling better. But Super Dave is the moderator extraordinaire for several of the channels that have shows. So glad to have him in here. But yeah, Mark, these bluegills, this is the time of year to really get on them. And if you got a child or a grandson or daughter or a neighbor kid or anybody that you want to get into the sport, now's the time. Now's the time, because you can take them out and put them on these and let them catch them, and the action's going to be hot. They're going to catch a lot of them, and they'll enjoy themselves, and you'll have the greatest time if you have a phone with a camera on it or a can record. This is one of the greatest times to get involved in stuff like that because these kids are going to be all smiles. They're not going to have time for none of this because they're going to be doing this, and that's something that's really important to these days. If we can keep these kids involved in outdoor sports.
Yeah, JG Hill Studios is asking, Mark, what are your thoughts on using small circle hooks to catch panfish? I've never tried it. Go ahead and try it. I don't know. I use Aberdeen type hooks or the Pro V Aberdeen hooks usually, or if I'm using a jig head. Lyle's got me using some of the ones with the longer hook shanks on them. That works pretty well. Crappie, I use your standard jig heads, 32nd and 16th ounce. And I don't really need to go that much smaller. If I'm catching fish and not trying to get on fish that won't bite, why go smaller? So whatever works. So
I
there we go. And Aaron had a question. He says, "What panfish are on beds in August?" That's a good question. I
sometimes
was told by a couple of people that bluegill could spawn, or some of them spawn multiple times a year. So they could very well be them.
Yep.
Whether or not that's true or not, that's what I've heard. I'm no biologist, so I don't know. So
Exactly. I understand now. Going back to the panfish size circle hooks, I have some to try this year. I haven't had them out yet, but I will. I'll give you a report when I do. And I also took some of the hooks. It was a little difficult, but I made it happen. I tied some flies on them, and we'll see how that
mhm.
works out. Because if that'll work out to where they hook themselves, I think the hookup ratio for fly fishing could be greatly increased.
I have to agree with Size Matters Catfishing. He says setting a hook on panfish is the best part.
It is.
I have to agree.
It is. And hey, Maurice has joined us. Welcome, buddy. Um, you're using light at best, at most, and a lot of times ultra light and micro light stuff with anywhere from 1 to 6 pound test line. Um, so you can really get carried away with that and not hurt them or anything else. You're not going to usually break anything because all the stuff has got so much give in it. And I've got
If you're watching your line and you're setting those hooks, chances are you're not going to gut hook them. And I think
that's
that's what a lot of people are worried about. That's fishing with a worm and not watching your bobber or something. They'll inhale them or too small a tackle. You'd be surprised. Like Lyle says, they do have small mouth, but you'd be surprised. I fished for panfish with a number 4 hook, which is a decent sized hook at
yeah,
number
that's a
4
crappie
Aberdeen.
size hook.
And it works well. It all has to do with how much bait you got on there and stuff. So Creole says he's looking forward to watching Gabe hit some brim beds with his fly rod.
Heck
That
yeah.
sounds like a good time right there.
Hey, there's Kim Burnett. Welcome, buddy.
How you doing, Kim? There's a man who likes to fly fish for bluegills.
He said he got out after work and put a hurting on them using a housefly. Was putting in the work. That housefly fly that he ties is a bluegill catching machine. It really is. Mr. Tully 41, welcome. Um, like I say, right now it is from now probably through the middle part of next month's going to be amazing time to catch bluegill, and I can't wait. I'm ready to go. So we'll see how it works out and catch a bunch of them. And we're going to be using jigs. We're going to be using worms, 2 or 3 different kinds probably. We're going to be using slip corks and fixed corks, fly rods, but all ultralight other than that. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I agree. It's going to be a
I'm
good time.
excited about it. Now, if you don't like to eat them or you don't want to clean them and you like to catfish, especially flathead catfish, one of the best baits that you can get. I'm not saying it is the best bait. I say it is one of the best baits you can get for catching them because it's going to be a lot of fun. Uh, Flatheads love them. And when I talk about panfish, I'm talking about bluegills, warmouth, pumpkin seeds, all the panfish breeds are flathead bait.
Green
Uh,
sunfish, one of my favorite.
Green sunfish is one of the all-time greats because they're easy to catch. They got a little bigger mouth. That's where them bigger hooks of yours will shine more.
Sonny says he was catching 14-inch crappie all day a week ago. We need some GPS coordinates, Sonny.
Yeah, I'm thinking his doctor probably don't know he was doing that. But yeah, I'm glad you're catching 14 inches. Great crappie. Nobody's
Neb-
catching.
Nebby says, I love using bass for flatheads.
I'd love to do that myself if they'd let me.
I found out that it's legal on my river, so I might have to try that, Lyle.
Well, James Smith used to say that's his favorite flathead bait, cut bait especially. He liked them, but I can't do it. So it's kind of like using crappie for catfish bait. I can't do that either in my state, and that's okay. I got it, but it sure is hard to pass up when you hear other people catching tons and tons of fish on them. It's really it's tough though because Mark, if I catch them of any size, bluegill or crappie, either one, I'm probably going to want to eat them instead of using them for fish.
Well, I got a freezer full of crappie, but I also the other half of the freezer is full of crappie heads that I vacuum sealed. I'm going to be using those for some bait,
Yeah,
especially here on the river. There's no size or creel limit on them, so you can use them.
and see, I see no reason why that shouldn't be legal in Missouri. If you cut the head off of it, which you do when you clean them, and you eat the rest of them, why couldn't you use instead of just throwing that away? Why couldn't you use that head or the tail? The tail
Well,
for
I like to think that it's because they're just trying to make it so they can differentiate from the people who are trying to cheat the system and
well,
who
that's
aren't.
probably
So
right.
they just, you know what I mean? It's them letting the one bad apple spoil a whole bunch for everybody. So
Yeah, yeah, I got you. But still, I find it wasteful. But we'll see. Maybe they'll change it one day. I doubt it, but it could happen.
and also channel cats up here by me, they'll eat live bluegill like it's nothing.
Oh yeah,
They have no
especially
problem.
small ones.
Especially, you know what I find out too though, during the flathead spawn, we're catching channel cats on like 7-8 inch bluegills as well, and it's always the 6 pound channel cat figures out how to get it
Wow,
down, and they do so.
a 6 pound channel cat eating that big a bluegill, they're wanting it bad.
They're all ramped up. Maybe they're just coming off or something. I don't know, or they feel safer. Who knows?
Who knows? But
But
man,
I've had that happen a couple of times. It always blows my mind. The reason why I use a little larger baits is to keep the channel cats off, not the small flathead, because small flathead will eat a big bait.
you know, um, I love using big bait for catfishing. The bigger, the better, because you don't always catch fish on them, but you eliminate the little ones. And it would be the same with anything like that.
I don't necessarily use big baits to keep off the little fish because well, I'll use whatever bait's available to me. Let's say that. That's
Yeah,
kind of the way I look at it. So Frank over at Twisted Fishing TV, how you doing? He says bowfin like bluegill. That's not really that big a problem for me. We got bowfin here, but I really got to get up in the weeds and in the sloughs, the off parts of the river, and I won't take my boat back there because it's pretty stagnant and smelly, and I just don't feel like coming home with it smelling like swamp. So I stay out of it. But I've caught bowfin here on the river. They call them dogfish here.
right. Never gonna happen. Well, I won't say never, but it's probably not gonna happen. You can leave that up to Dieter and them guys out east. They got the
Leave,
double.
leave it up to hooks and hammocks and Jerry Parker.
Yeah, Jerry.
They're always messaging us. Look at what I caught on chicken. Look at what I caught on chicken.
I get that a lot. That's the only reason they message me anymore. It used to be not be that way, but I got chicken, chicken, chicken. God, I don't even like to eat chicken.
They got something. They got something against it. Pan fishing or something. It must be.
I hate cut bait keeps turtle and gar away. Live, baby. Makes sense.
Our turtles here, they eat the live bait too. You'll pull it in, their head will be up, torn off.
Really?
Yeah, they step on them. Even if you got a long leader, I tried using longer leaders, and that didn't work. They find a way. They're pretty ornery around here, I guess. So
Check this out. Justin says about had a heart attack when he saw a guy in South Carolina fillet the side off a 15-inch crappie and throw it out for bait. My God, what's wrong with that guy?
hey, Crappie Day Fish On's been a member for 4 months. Thank you very much, Crappie Day.
Absolutely. Dan Thompson, welcome in to chat, buddy.
That's like a whole sandwich. That's like 2 sandwiches on that crappie right there.
Double it up and make a double decker out of it.
There's Lance Makugai. What's going on, Lance? How you doing? And there's my sister and your adopted daughter, Betty Jean.
Oh,
What's
Betty,
up?
yep. Well, glad to see you made it in here tonight, Betty.
And you see, he did all that for a 10-pound blue. What a waste.
I like catching 10-pound blues, but I don't want to give up that crappie fillet.
I wonder if he kept that 10-pound blue. Then I could maybe understand.
Yeah. Van with V3 Customs Kentucky. Howdy from the highway. Welcome, my friend. Glad to see you in here tonight.
Man, I won't go there. Don't say it, Mark.
Bad.
Don't say it.
He's been bad again.
Mm-hmm. Sonny says that's 3 fish tacos. Lyle, you ever have fish tacos?
Never have had fish tacos.
Oh, they're like fantastic.
I never have. I couldn't understand why you would waste a good fillet to put it on a piece of tortilla.
Oh, it's so good. On a bed of coleslaw. Oh my God,
Oh,
Lyle.
now, I like me some good coleslaw. I really do.
You don't need a fork or a knife. No silverware needed. You just shovel that right in.
Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me.
I bet you if we got Chud to make us some of those beef tallow tortillas he's always making, you wouldn't have a problem with that.
I'm sure you're right about that. That guy's got it going on. I remember it, for those of you that don't know, it's called Chud's Barbecue. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
You need to check his channel out if you like smoking stuff and seeing guys build smokers and seeing a genuine chef cook up stuff that anybody can make. And this kid has got it going on. He's when I first started watching him, he didn't have but about 5,000 or 6,000 people as subscribers, and I don't know what he's got now, but it's a big number.
Yeah, his channel grew really quick.
Yeah, it did in the last year and a half or so. It really jumped up there, and he's all the time got stuff going on for making things or producing stuff and coming up with new recipes. And he's actually went fishing with a couple of guys, Mark. So
He was supposed to go with me, but the only time he's in Chicago is during the barbecue smokeout, which happens right in the middle of Flathead spawn. So that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, Cindy, call Marky. He's trying to call me on my phone. See what he needs. Kids, what you gonna do?
Yeah. Bugman says he's talking about fish tacos in Southern California. They're the OG best things I ever eaten. See,
Wow, that's a statement right there. That's a statement.
You can't just throw a couple on a tortilla. You got to have the coleslaw on there, and you got to have like the little spicy sauce on there, and it's good.
I like that. I like spicy sauce. Our buddy Spencer Bauer with River Certified. He does a lot of catch and cooks out on the riverbank. I don't think that Spencer leaves home without tortillas. I just don't think he does.
Without the what?
Tortillas.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
He fishes. He don't use bread really. That's all he uses. And if you haven't checked out Spencer at River Certified, you need to do that. He's a great guy. I've known him for years. We've had him on the show on Catfish Weekly a number of times. But he does a lot of cookouts and camping, and he has a new video out today, by the way. and he cooks out, and he does it with very minimal equipment. Would you say, Mark?
He does. And he uses that Whisker Seeker breading, which I was sent some, which is pretty darn tasty. It's good. It's pretty good stuff. If you like a cornmeal breading, that you kind of can't go wrong. It's a little bit on the salty side, but just put a little extra tartar sauce on there, you'll be
There
fine.
you go. I'm going to try to make some of my own tartar sauce um, this year, but not today or tomorrow, but sometime this year. And the other thing I'm going to try to make is, lost my train of thought now. Oh, hush puppies.
Hush puppies are good.
I want to try to make some where you don't buy a mix or something, just make them from scratch. And I've not ever done that. So
I think I don't think it's that difficult. So I'm sure you can find something on YouTube. So
I've been watching a lot of videos. I'm already proud of.
I've been busy. I've been slacking on my video consumption time, but it is that time of year.
It
So
is. Keith D.O.C. Reed,
Keith
welcome.
Doc Reed, what's going on, Mr. Reed? How you doing, sir?
Glad to have you in here.
JG says he uses House of Audrey seafood breading. I hear that's pretty good. I've never tried it.
I've got some. We was at Sam's Club, and they have a big container of what is the name of that stuff? I bought some the other day. Here,
Old Bay?
what?
You were talking to me about Old Bay. Is that what you mean?
No. It's stuff I use on things. A lot of seafood stuff Cindy does for me. They have tons and tons of different varieties of things for shrimp and fish
Oh,
and
that down Perdone stuff, that seafood magic?
no,
Oh, well, if you remember, we'll figure it out.
yeah, but
Dave,
it's for somebody in chat. I don't know what it is.
yeah, David Smith says pancake mix for hush puppies. Yeah, that's what I thought,
Okay.
but I wasn't sure enough to say that. Yeah.
Now, are you putting any spicy stuff in it, like jalapeno pieces or anything?
Yeah, you can put whatever you want there, I imagine. Who's stopping you, Lyle?
That's right.
Who is stopping you?
I used to go to Arkansas on weekly trips down there, and there was a lady that had out in the boonies now. Um, she had a little convenience store. She had several of them, but this was her main one. And on the day that I would stop in and visit with her, she would have hush puppies and some kind of fish, and she'd fry that up. And people would drive miles and miles to eat the hush puppies. The fish was just a side note to the hush puppies. They was real. I should have paid attention to what she was doing. She's telling me how to do it one day, and I didn't care about them because I don't, when I eat, I want the meat. I want the fish, and it was really good too.
I don't know, Lyle. I can't imagine you'd turn down some potato salad.
No, I would not. I
Well, there you
probably
go. So
stuff what was left last night. Cindy was so mad at me.
I was going to say, who are you? You're lying now.
I love potato salad. It's one of my favorite things. She fixed a double. I peeled 10 pounds of potatoes so she'd make this stuff, and we had about this much left in an ice cream cooler last night, or container in the refrigerator, and I finished it all off for a midnight snack.
Uh,
But I do. I dearly love it, and hell, I'll peel another 10 pounds. She makes some more.
there you go. Maybe you just need to peel them and nudge her in the side and say, hey, look, it's
You
ready
know what?
for you.
That's a lot of work. I don't wonder she don't
You
want
ain't kidding. You're lucky you were in a sailor. I hear that's what they do when you're bad.
I
Your
hear that.
potatoes.
I know that she told me that last year when we went to Mendota, there was 15 pounds of potatoes she took up there.
Wow.
I did not. I had no idea.
You know, when my mom makes potato salad, she boils them with the skins on and then uses a butter knife and just the skins just slide right off.
Really,
Mm-hmm.
that's a great idea.
Of course, she's got as best as hands. She does it while they're still warm, but I can't see if you didn't use some gloves like the barbecue guys do.
That's a great idea. I'll try that next time. Now, what'd she do with the hard boiled eggs? I
She,
have a hard time getting the shells
yeah,
on.
yeah. I don't know how she does it. You're preaching to the choir here because I suck at peeling them too.
Yeah, I took care of all that for her just to get the potato salad, and while she was at it, we done enough. She made me some deviled eggs on top of it. Holy crap, Mark! It was an amazing meal. You
You
should
know
have
what?
been.
You know what my mother says? The eggs got to be a little older in order for them to peel easy. I remember her telling me that a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah. How old? I don't know.
I don't know. We check ours to make sure they float or don't float. Depends on where they come from. Another good thing when you get through cooking all the fish, hush puppies, etc., cook a can of biscuits in oil and inject it with honey. That does sound really
Yeah,
good.
we've done that too. We'll just powder sugar them though. We haven't tried the honey. But we'll drizzle honey on them and then powder sugar. We do, but
That
inject them. I
sounds
like the
really
way
good.
you think, David.
Boil eggs for 10 minutes and run cold water on them. That's what we do. But I'm still having, it may be me. Who knows?
JG says the eggs need to be room temperature before boiling or after boiling. JG, tell us the secret.
Put boiled eggs in a jar with a little water and put on and
I
shake.
s- I saw videos of people doing that.
Yeah, I have too.
Maybe I'll try that tomorrow for breakfast. I'll report back to
Make
you.
a cut in the middle of the potato, then boil, and peel will come right off.
Mhm.
Sonny, I didn't know you knew about cooking. That's
Nothing wrong
awesome.
with cooking. The best chefs in the world are men.
I think you're right. Don't tell Cindy that, but I think you might be right. As far as I'm concerned, she's the best chef in the world. That way, I don't have to do
Wise move.
any
Wise
more of
move.
it. I didn't get to look the full figured as I am without her being a pretty damn good cook.
I do the order, and I mean cooking in this house.
I just, I like to cook outside. I'm not. I don't like cook inside because she tells me how to do things, and the way she does it, the way I do it, two different things. If I go outside, she don't go out there and bother me, and when she's in here, I don't bother her. It works out really well.
Oh, that reminds me. After the show tonight, Lyle, we need to get online and buy you some stuff for your outdoor kitchen.
No,
Well,
no, I don't think so. Oh man! So, Mark, are you gonna be going after some bait or bluegill?
no, I got bait. I got 16 bluegill in my tank, so they'll be alive for a little while. I got a busy weekend. I wish I could get out
Did you catch
tomorrow.
them since you come back from Mendota, or did you bring him back?
I know I caught them since I got back from
Okay,
Mendota. I went this week. I didn't go live because it was at my same spot. I just wanted to get bait, and the week got away from me. Tomorrow and Saturday we're looking for a car for Pops, and I got a graduation on Sunday. So hopefully next week we'll be able to get out. And
I understand now.
I'm thinking I might take advantage of this kind of busy time, and I'll just take my lower unit off of my boat and have them fix the skag real quick. I think I might have found a guy who can do it in a couple of days for me. So as long as I take the lower unit off, which I have to put that impeller on, I think I'll get that done.
Yeah, you can buy stainless steel piece to go right over top of that skag.
He's going to charge me $150, Lyle. So
Yeah, I let him do
yeah.
it. JG Hill says I have 4 different grills outside. I'm going to buy another one. Nice.
I understand, JG.
I
Trust me, I
have a,
understand.
I have a Oklahoma Joe smoker that I dearly love. Um, and I have my Camp Chef griddle. It's a cooker with a griddle top that slides in there, and I like that a lot. That's you take the griddle off, and that's where I fried the fish the other day. Worked really well. It's got 2 big burners on it. Bought it basically to do canning with, but we use it for everything. And we took it to Mendota last year. The ladies used it up there and liked it really well. So,
It worked really good. I remember.
yep, it did. Worked out really well.
I've
So
been thinking about getting one of them small Blackstones, like the 17-incher, just so I can blacken some fish up for me and the wife and go from
that's
there.
that's
But yeah,
coming with me the next. In fact, we was talking about that the other day. I might do some blackened fish the next cook uh, because Cindy and I both like that. Uh, but we had my daughter come over and she wanted some fish, and while I was cooking, the neighbor lady next door she come over and had some, and the guy across the street come over and had a little. By the time we was done, but we still had plenty left over. But I worry about it because I used to could really eat some fish, but not as much as I used to could.
David Smith says I have the PK grill and love it. Yeah, that PK grill, that's
They say they're
it
really
piqued my
nice.
interest a while, but I got cut off. They're like, you have enough stuff to barbecue on. You don't need any more.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
But I want a I have a vertical gas smoker, but I don't like gas smokers. I want a vertical wood burner. For
I'm
whiskey.
telling you, you just need that chud box.
No, I can't afford.
Get the credit card out, and we're gonna get you that chud box.
I
We'll get
wouldn't
you
be
on the
able to
list.
buy nothing else all year. Frank says get that platinum skeg with the diamond prop nut. That'd be gangsta.
Never heard of it.
I haven't either, but it sounds amazing.
I bet you Chad has that on his boat.
But he has that Chad Fields money.
That's right.
Sonny says my griddle fits on top of my cutting board on my rod rack. Always cook on the boat.
Nice. You
Hey,
know,
that does sound
it's
pretty
funny
cool.
that he mentions that. You know, I always thought my boat was too little to cook on, right? Now I was fishing with Jerry on Friday, Hohausen,
Hmm.
and we pulled over next to his buddy Al, and Al handed over a grill and some brats and some bread and ketchup and mustard, and we ended up grilling on the darn boat. It worked
Holy
out
crap!
perfectly. It was delicious too, I have to
I
say.
bet it was. Jerry's a heck of a cook.
I like Jerry. Jerry's a good people.
He is a great guy. But yeah, he's a great cook. Sonny, I have an idea. Maybe we can do a cook on your boat and make a show out of it.
There you go.
Mark, you can't beat a good cast iron pan for blackened fish. I would have to agree with that.
You can't beat a good cast iron for some cornbread either.
That's right.
That's right.
That's
I
right.
got a few cast irons. I got a thing for cast iron. It works pretty good.
I got a lot of cast iron, and I get in trouble if I buy more. But if a deal comes up, it's only a deal if it's a deal, Mark.
I got a cool cast iron pan with a sugar skull engraved on the back of it. It's pretty neat. One of the Mexican
What
skulls.
engraved on the back of it?
It's called a sugar skull. It's got a skull. I showed you the one with the skull on the back, right, Lyle?
I don't think so.
I think I did.
You might have it. I forgot it. There's Chad Fields finally make it into chat after we
That's why
let
I'm the
him
favorite son.
go. Sonny says we can do that, and I have the coffee maker too. Wow, he's got it all. He has got it all. Teflon pans suck. I don't know what that word is and all that crap.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Teflon.
I'm not either.
I got one Teflon pan that I seldom use. That's it.
I like my cast iron stuff, but like I say, I hardly ever cook in the house. Susquehanna Stan, welcome, buddy.
What's up, Stan? Rod
Um,
Knocker says Blackstone griddle top is cold rolled steel and still requires proper CDM like cast iron. Yeah, I know somebody who their 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 Blackstone pretty much rusted away.
that's the same thing that my griddle is made out of. But if you season it, it'll last forever. Same here. We have an addiction to cast iron. Stephanie gives
Be
me that
that luck.
look. Well, Friday deal.
You know
You
what? I need to
are
send him a
awesome.
picture of that one with the skull on the back. I have a feeling that Stephanie will be mad at me if I do.
I don't remember that picture. You're gonna have to show it to me again. But
All right.
Richard and Stephanie are going to be coming over to see me one of these days. We may have to induct them as son and daughter because the rest of you never come to see me. Dockery.
Every time I try to make a date, you always avoid me. I'm starting to feel like
How do you figure that? We're gonna come. We're gonna get together. We're gonna do some fishing. You have to plan on being here a couple of days. I tried to tell Stephanie when she messaged me. I have some boat seats that are the tractor seats that recline, got headrest and armrest, and I took them out of the boat because Cindy liked the millennial seats, and they was a little bit smaller, made more room in a boat. And the others been sitting on my back deck ever since. So they want those, and they're going to get those and the live well that extra live well that I have, and I tried to get them to stay all night. If they'd stayed all night, we'd go fishing. You know how that is. Favorite child? Yeah, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. But I'm excited that they're going to be coming over and seeing me, and I got to get over their way. Rob Chance has a something for me that I need to pick up from him, and that'd be great if I could get over there and see everybody. I want to go over there and go fishing. I haven't fished that part of the Mississippi River, Mark, in I don't know, since 2018 or 19.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
COVID knocked out a bunch of stuff for Cindy and I because I didn't want to be around all that stuff and take a chance on getting it. And I didn't know it was all a made up bunch of crap. I wasn't worried about it, but nobody knew.
Nobody did know. Nobody, people suspected, but nobody wanted to take the chance. But it is what it is. Live and learn. We won't let them do that again.
That's exactly right. Stan says, I try not to get cast iron pans, don't like to get hit with that. I can outrun Cindy, so.
I can see that happening, Stan. Sometimes when Stan starts telling me stuff, I think he might already been hit with that cast iron pan. Just kidding, Stan.
Oh, man. We're kind of off the topic again, but that seems to happen to us a lot.
That breakfast, Sonny says steak and eggs are good for breakfast on a boat. You know what we call that breakfast? The Chadfield Special.
Chadfield Special. Very nice. Coal Creek Catfishing. Billy, welcome. I'm late getting in, but very busy today, trying to get a bunch caught up so I can go fishing on the weekend. Well, good luck with that. I hope you get to get out and catch a bunch of fish.
We should start a cooking show, Lyle, because look at this.
I think we should.
Pan is a vintage BSR Brigham stove and range. No one touches the cornbread pan. Never heard of that brand.
I have one of the big, what do they call them? Great big cast iron pot. It's not real deep.
A Dutch oven.
Yeah, it's a huge one though.
Mm-hmm.
Big oval shaped one. It's never been used yet. I need to season it and get it ready to go.
Well, what's wrong with you? Get to using.
I've been busy, man.
You fill that thing with oil and you drop some bluegill in there, and away you go. Those cast iron Dutch ovens work great for frying fish. Like
you're right about that. They hold their temperature so that there's not so much variance.
There isn't a big drop when you put a big batch of fish in there. And what I do is I use one of those laser thermometers from Harbor Freight. Boom. Right when it gets to 350, you're good to go. Let her rip.
I've got one of the little things that sit on the side that has 4 prongs go out. I'll drop one of them in there and try to maintain the temperature that way. And I can maintain the temperature when I'm frying fish. If I'm smoking something, I can have one in that. It's got separate deals for all of it. That's really cool. But yeah, I like the cast iron stuff really well.
JG Hill says it's a cauldron pot, like what witches use.
Could be. I just like the cast iron stuff. It's just works better for me. And it's not. I have 2 other Dutch ovens that are small round ones. Whether one of them's not real small, but like I say, that oval shaped one, I'm thinking if I could fill that up with potato salad, it'd be perfect.
Just get you one of them food grade buckets, Lyle. You'll be good to go.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Uncle
Can't cook on my boat. It's plastic, but shore lunch is going down.
Chad eats steak and eggs on his boat? ? Can someone please post one of his credit card numbers? We've tried. Jeep, we've tried.
Mad about that. And D gets really mad about it. Always take it to 375 and drop the fish in it. Will cool down to 350. That's how I do it.
There you go.
That's how I
Especially when you're cooking panfish or crappie, because they're a little thinner fillets, most definitely. So, I bread mine with flour, almost a batter. So I want to cook the flour taste out of it because you don't want your fish tasting like flour. Nope. And if you get a little higher temperature on it, it does a good job. It gets it right out. So
That's right. Sonny says if he takes all his cast iron on the boat, it might sink. He must have a bunch.
Rod Knocker says peach cobbler in a Dutch oven is the bomb.
Mark, have you ever seen peach candy?
No, like dehydrated peaches I've seen.
No, just flavored candy.
No, I haven't.
I went to get my hair cut today, and the lady that cuts it always has a thing full of.
Wait. Which
You want
one?
an emoji? You want an emoji? I, I did get a haircut. Lisa has this thing full of candy, and I got them little bitty suckers in it today. So I get one of them out, and I swear it was tastes as close to a peach as anything I ever ate. And of course, I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't read the little writing on it. Cindy said it was mango pineapple.
Oh,
Tasted like a peach. It was awesome. I
I'm
never had
not a
a
fan
piece
of
of candy
mango.
I liked.
We were at the restaurant for Mother's Day / my father's birthday this weekend, and my wife ordered a mango drink. And the bartender was like, "Do you want one of those?" I go, "No, thank you." Mango, that is the okra of fruit. And she started dying, Lyle.
Really?
Well, because they're slimy. I'm not a big fan of that texture. So
Yeah.
peaches and cottage cheese is good. You know what else tastes like peaches, Lyle?
What's that? Peaches.
Peaches.
Uncle Jeep says, since you guys love cast iron so much, you should go purchase a cast iron tractor seat and use it in your boat. No, thank you.
Not me.
I've sat on them old seats with no padding, and what padding was on it was gone on tractors and stuff, and they're not all that good.
I spent enough time on a bench seat in a
I am,
rowboat.
Sonny. What'd you say, Mark?
I said I spent enough time on a bench seat in a rowboat not to want to do that.
Yeah, well, that cast iron seat on a tractor usually got a couple of bolt heads that stick up through the bottom of them. They're just not that good, and nobody that ever had one of them that wore the what little bit of padding on them out never replaced them ever. So Justin says y'all got me starving.
Justin needs some fruit salad. Somebody get him a fruit salad.
That's right. You're right, son. You
Mudman
did
says,
start on that.
"Oh no, mango when ripe and cut in the bowl from the fridge is awesome in the summer. Enjoy. You can have mine,
I'm
Bugman."
telling you, that candy was amazing. I could just blown away with it. But Lisa's such a sweet lady, and she does Cindy's hair and cuts what little I got left, and just does a really good job for us. And she's really nice. She had a huge tree in her backyard that had four big shoots coming out of it. It was planted in the 1960s, and two of them blew out in the windstorm we had here last week
Mm-hmm.
and hit her house. Done a bunch of damage to it. I felt so sorry for her, and now she's going to end up having to cut the other half of that tree down. Uh, she's going to lose a lot of shade in the summertime, but she's lucky that she didn't get any more damage than she did. But she got enough.
We've experienced that some in the backyard. We had a big old, huge willow, like 45 feet tall, and that thing used to shade it would shade my house so much it would keep my cooling bills down in the summer. And
Yeah.
when we lost that tree, it would definitely hit home.
Well, when we bought this house 8 years ago, it had two pecan trees in the yard. Now there's only one. The one was right off my back deck. It was probably 20 feet, and it was, gigantic. Produced a lot of pecans. I hated to, but all the limbs was all over the roof of the house. And
Mm-hmm.
pecans are really bad about limbs breaking out of them. And I
Okay.
kept stewing and fretting and worrying about it, and we ended up having it taken out. Now I don't have to worry about it, but I did get a lot of good smoking wood out of it. But I've been through it all now. But it was really bad to take that big pecan out. But I was so worried, as bad as they are about breaking limbs, that it would go right through my garage roof. no telling what else. So it's now gone, and it is what it is.
Bugman says we have to respect the old farmers for sure.
He's right about that.
Peach Jolly Ranchers taste like ripe peach from
I've not ever
Roundup.
had them. Didn't know they made them. I'll have to try that. Danny Stone, welcome, buddy. Been packing up the camper, heading out right after work tomorrow. Can't wait to see my buddy Chad. Huh.
That'll change.
Got
Just
20
kidding.
tomatoes planted. Can't wait for homegrown BLTs. I'm with you on that. I got a whole bunch.
Well, have you ever had a purple tomato?
No.
My neighbor just came over and says, I planted a bunch of purple tomatoes. You want any once they bloom? I'm like, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I was gone all weekend. Did
Yeah,
not
I
get a
watched
chance
a
to
little,
watch that.
very little bit of it. I seen you was in there, but I didn't. I couldn't stay.
JG, you got to get in on the Panfish Nation Championship, bud. There's plenty of openings still. Let us know if you're interested.
When did you change your date to, Mark?
June 11th, we're doing it.
June 11th. Okay.
June 11th.
So get signed up. If you're not signed up, you need to be. If we get enough entries, Mark will go to the green wheel and choose that way. If not, we'll go with what he has, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And then right after that, Chad's having his, and then Josh will be
Josh,
having an entry to it, and
Dockery.
James Dockery.
And then the championship will be on Panfish Nation
It
itself.
will. We're going to have a great time. The top
You're,
two.
you're going to be hosting that by yourself because I'm going to be in the championship
Well, I
lot.
hope I'm in it, but if I'm not, so be it. I can do it. I'll get somebody to help me. Get Sonny to help me. All right, Sonny, take your pills, get healed up. Make sure you listen to what that doctor says, buddy.
I hope you feel better.
Planted 5 Cherokee purples, rated as a super flavored tomato. I'm going to have to find some of them.
They sound good. Best tomato I ever had was when I visited my sister Betty Jean. She $1 per tomato from the Amish, and they were worth it, Lyle. Oh my goodness.
Really?
Yeah, they were good.
Mark, we have a place, I don't know, probably 30 miles from me. Look at that. He's sucking up to Danny, ain't he?
He is.
Yeah. About 30 miles from me, they have an Amish auction twice a week. And it's anybody can buy in there, but restaurants, grocery stores, they'll buy stacks of flats of tomatoes. So much, and you take them all. And there's liable to be 25 or 30 in that group. And you can get a good deal on them if you want to. If you own a business or something where you use that many, or if you want to can some, which is what I plan to do, go up there and buy a bunch of them. And then, I like tomatoes out of the can. So I
They're
do a bunch
good.
of them, do a lot of other stuff. They're good. They're good tomatoes. And, you know, they grow some amazing stuff. So
Yeah, they
I'll
don't
go
mess
ahead and
around. They do it the old fashioned way and they get it right.
That's exactly right. And I've got some I'm going to grow, but I plan on slicing and eating every one of them.
Or slice up, put on some white bread with some mayo. Oh, slice
Yep.
of cheese if you're feeling sassy, you're good to go.
There you go. That's exactly right. I bet them ones Betty had was real good, though. My dad used to eat the yellow ones a lot. He
Hmm.
said they had less acid in them, and he had, of course, they didn't call it acid reflux in those days. This is about he died in 1973, so they just called it heartburn and indigestion and stuff like that. But he loved them, and he ate the yellow ones just because he claimed that they had less acidity. Is that how you say it?
Acidity,
Something like that.
that's it.
There.
That too.
So Monday night, you got who on your show?
I'm having Freddie on my show. We're gonna just talk fishing and see how he enjoyed his weekend up there with us and what he has planned going on and how he's been fishing. So
That'd be fun.
and we're gonna probably talk bad about Chad for an hour, to be honest with you, since he works for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be nice to Chad, surely.
we're always nice to Chad. I'm just still sore that he beat my PB.
He had caught a great fish up there.
He
Yeah, you
did.
guys had a wonderful time. I'm very sad that I didn't get to make it, but next year I'll be there and we'll go at it just like we would have this year. I was gonna have Freddie on my show next Thursday night. I have to kick him off. Hey, Jeremy Alpatron, welcome, buddy. Glad to see you in here tonight.
Okay, that was funny.
That is funny.
Uh, and everybody do what Kenneth says. Kenneth over at Takedown Catfishing says, y'all hit that thumbs up, please.
And if you're not subscribed, we would appreciate that. You can always join to be a member. But, we'd love to have you as a subscriber. We got a lot of things planned for the show for the rest of the year. So jump right in there and hit that thumbs up. We'd appreciate it. We're going to I don't think we have anything scheduled for Monday night, but Chad and Josh will come up with a great idea. We'll have a great show Monday night on Catfish Weekly, and we'll be back here right at the bait shop next Thursday night. Hopefully with some fishing information. 25.5, Mark. 25 point.
Here, Lyle, you guess what I'm doing?
Um,
Hanging my head in shame.
what was the one you caught? Is that the one?
24 pounds, 6 ounces. That's what it is
Well,
to be.
what? There's millions of people that go their whole life and don't catch a channel cat that big.
Yeah, but I can go back next week, and I'm thinking I might have to. The only thing that's keeping me from is these pictures of people catching flathead on the river. Chad might have gotten a reprieve till next year.
25.5. Great
It's a
fish.
big fish. It's not 30 though.
It's not 30.
It's
I
not
haven't
30.
caught a 30 either. I'm very disappointed in that, but hopefully.
I heard that somebody, Jerry showed me a picture of some kid who caught a 34 last week up there.
A 34.
His first catfish ever, 34-pound channel cat.
Wow. Man.
Look at this. Chad's being nice to me. He must want something.
He's right, though. They're both great kids.
Let's hear what Tim has to say. Tim says, I was going to be on Chad's show, but he blackballed me. So now I'm going to do Avid's show. Tim, I finished your coffee last week. It was delicious.
Well, I hope people got a little information from us tonight about the spawn and when and how to catch a bunch of large bluegill. If you have any questions about catching bluegill, the spawn, or anything like that, you can leave it in the comment section below, and we'll answer those for you. And be sure to tune in next Thursday night because we'll be back. We're going to be talking about catching panfish and having a great time. Probably talk about food. Seems like that always comes up.
It's because we're hungry boys.
We are full figured.
You ain't kidding.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next week on Panfish Nation.
Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. Oh, wait.